Well, after 4 months, we are wrapping up the 8th commandment, the command not to steal. We have been walking through the duties that God required in what seemed like a simple command not to take other people's stuff. And yet, as we walked through the duties that the Westminster Divines wrote out for us, we realized, at least I did, that God required a lot more from us than just to pay for what we want. And since this is our last exhortation in this command, I will reread the entire question and answer. Question 141. What are the duties required in the 8th commandment? And the answer is, the duties required in the 8th commandment are truth, faithfulness, and justice in contracts and commerce between man and man, rendering to every one his due, restitution of goods unlawfully detained from the right owners thereof, giving and lending freely according to our abilities, and the necessities of others, moderation of our judgments, wills, and affections concerning worldly goods, a provident care and a study to get, keep, use, and dispose these things which are necessary and convenient for the sustentation, that's that fun word, of our nature, and suitable to our condition, a lawful calling and diligence in it, frugality, avoiding unnecessary lawsuits and suretyship or other such-like engagements, and an endeavor by all just and lawful means to procure, preserve, and further the wealth and outward estate of others as well as our own. The duties we are looking at are that final phrase, by all just and lawful means to procure, preserve, and further the wealth and outward estate of others as well as our own. I think this could be summarized as we are to work, save, and patronize others in their efforts to work and to provide for their own. Philippians 2, 3, and 4 sum up this idea quite nicely. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. This is an idea that has woven its way through many of our exhortations from this commandment. The idea that we should work to bless our families and to work in such a way that we have extra to give to our friends. And we should encourage and support others who are striving to do the same thing. We're not just to pad our own pocketbooks, but also to pay attention to how we can pad one another's pocketbooks. We ought not to want to gain wealth by ourselves, but we are also to want those around us to be able to provide well for themselves also. In Leviticus 25, Moses gives the command to care for our brothers and for their well-being. If your brother becomes poor and cannot maintain himself with you, you shall support him as though he were a stranger and a sojourner, and he shall live with you. Leviticus 25:35. We are to be so concerned about one another's needs that we work that extra little bit and spend a little less in order to be in a position to help when the need arises. That is the type of brother and sister we should be striving to be. Those who are ready, willing, and able to step in times of need. Another thing this duty does is it leans against the Christian brother discount. The idea that we expect to pay a Christian less for his services than we would pay anyone else. This is not talking about helping a friend, but it's the idea that I was going to hire secular Sam to do the job for $10, but we'll hire Christian Chris instead and pay him $8. The very idea should be repulsive to us, as should the thought that Christian Chris is charging $10 for an $8 job just because he is a Christian. That shouldn't happen either. You shouldn't give less quality to a brother and expect more money. And there is a duty in this command to save. That is the preserve part. A wise man spends less than he makes, an increasingly difficult task for some of us, and puts away for another day. It would not surprise you at all that the Proverbs is full of wisdom regarding the use of money. Proverbs 6:6-8 is one of the most well-known passages. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any officer, or chief officer or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. Proverbs 13:11 tells us that the same slow and steady approach to gain wealth. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. The idea is to work hard and then work even harder to spend less. And yes, that actually may be the harder task. There really is a need for some very creative stretching in the food budget. Ladies, this is your moment to shine. And if you find a great deal, let others know. This duty is not only for those who are working a traditional job and getting paid a regular income. This is a duty for everyone. Kids, you can work on your responsibilities in such a way that you are able to chip in and help others when you're done. If you drag your feet in getting your homework done until you need to go to bed, then you're not in a position to help your sister clean or with her homework. Or boys, if it takes you all day to finish your chores, then you're not working in such a way that you can bless your brothers or your parents or sisters. Or singles, are you saving? Are you blessing those in need around you? And this may be discouraging to hear, but you will probably never have more discretionary time or money than you have now. How are you using it? Is every dollar and minute spent on you and your wants or needs? Have you chipped in when someone loses their job? Have you taken someone, and not your regular friends, those that you guys take turns paying, out to dinner because they need encouragement? Or have you given someone a book that you liked? Do you have a stack of giveaway books on your shelf at home? And wives, how about you? Are you looking for deals, maybe even real estate deals, and planning for the next season? It could be planning and preparing for the next baby, for your grandchildren, or even your husband's retirement. If you're spending all the money now, there may not be any for the old and the cold years. The woman in Proverbs 31 has this duty truly in mind, and so should we. Well, since we are often a selfish and short-sighted people, we are reminded of our need to confess our sins. Not only the sins of stealing from the future with our short-sighted spending, but also our sins of envy, of covetousness, and greed. And that is not to mention all the non-financial sins, our anger, our sloth, our lust, and our idolatry. So let us confess them all right now. First privately, then praying the prayer found in your bulletin.